Nhexus, level 14 upgrade. I would love to get the Millennium system for Nhexus, however I just don't have the money right now. So I have to look at cheaper alternatives. Right now I do have the Traxxas Scorpion 20 turn brush motor in there, and I have to say it's really not that all impressive. So I went ahead and got the HPI 15 turn Firebolt motor. Now believe me, this will be much better than that. I tested it. I also have this on my Slash, and I have to say that it works just as good, if not better, than the 12 turn Titan motor that Traxxas makes. Not to mention it is also more reliable. So let's go ahead and open this up and get it installed. And there it is, and visually I have to say this looks a lot better than the one I have in there now, especially with the flaming skull in there. So let's go ahead and get the old one out and this one in. I went ahead and removed the body, including the fin. Now I have to take off the transmission box cover. In order to take it off, I have to remove the two screws that hold it on. One of them is being blocked by the rear right tire, so I'm going to have to take that off so I can get this off. Next, I need to go ahead and take off the pinion gear, which is just held on with a single grub screw. With that out of the way, I can now take the motor out by removing these two screws. And there is the old motor. Gotta unplug it and take off the motor heatsink. Let me go ahead and take a moment to apologize because earlier I called this a Scorpion motor and not a Stinger motor, but you can understand why I thought it was called a Scorpion. I remember back in the day, a 20 turn brush motor, well, that was pretty fast. Nowadays, it's really slow. So, it's time for the reverse process to install this motor. So I'm going to be using these two holes to hold it onto the transmission with those two screws that hold it to the transmission. Okay, and I don't want to tighten those all the way down yet because I have to install the pinion gear first. Now I have to readjust this so it meshes up with the spur gear just right. And now I can tighten the screws all the way. Now I can go ahead and plug in the motor. Snap on the motor heatsink, then reattach the transmission box cover, and finally put back on the rear tire. Now Nhexus has a little bit more power. And that was a level 14 upgrade for Nhexus.